What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be analysing, doing my match reaction to the away game for Manchester City at Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. Excellent win this for Manchester City, in my opinion, one of the results of the season for us. So before we crack on with this video though, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then make sure you help support my channel by subscribing, pressing that red button, pressing the bell, and putting your push notifications on. You can also check out my social media links, which you can find in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to go and hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments below of this fantastic away win for Manchester City. So we're going to crack on with this match reaction, and we're going to speak first about the teams. And it was a really strong team from Manchester City. Let's take into context, we've got a big game against Real Madrid coming up on Wednesday, and so City have gone with their, in my opinion, the strongest team that we could possibly go for. I wasn't too sure at the time if it was 4 or 5 at the back. It was 4 at the back. Rodri was playing defensive midfield, so we had Rodri and Gundogan playing in midfield with each other. In my opinion, just doesn't work too well. Kevin De Bruyne starting too. I felt like it was a bit negative from City. We saw Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez and Sergio Aguero starting up front. Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané didn't even make the bench, which is a concern for mine going into the match against Real Madrid and how fit they are, but there we go. Aymeric Laporte managed to keep his place. Fernandinho was in for Otamendi. Walker, Mendy and Ederson also made up the strong side from Manchester City, and in my opinion, nothing was given about who is going to start in that Real Madrid game, so it's keeping Real Madrid second guessing too, as Real Madrid played a game against Levante and they lost, and they went with a very strong side too. So we've got a bit of momentum to go forward with. Great pick-me-up this with a good win for City. The Leicester though, they went with 5 at the back. Christian Fuchs was starting. Soyuncu and Evans also starting at centre-back as Piera and Chilwell made up their defence. Obviously Schmeichel in goal. They had Maddison in the middle. Iheanacho was starting against his former club, and Jamie Vardy starting up front. That was to keep Manchester City's defence very busy with playing 2 strikers up front and having some pace up there to try and cause us some problems. 2 attacking lineups though. Difficult game this, in my opinion, but was ideal preparation for us for a difficult away game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. So now we're going to start with a game, and there was a very early chance, and this is key. Jamie Vardy was allowed in. Poor pass from Laporte ended up exposing Manchester City's high line. The ball was played into Jamie Vardy. Leaves Fernandinho for dead. Fernandinho's legs can nowhere near keep up with Jamie Vardy, and Jamie Vardy then has an advance in Ederson to try and beat. And I thought it was a good goalkeeper. Ederson might not have saved the shot, but he forced Jamie Vardy to lose his composure. He takes one touch, he realises he has to take the shot, so he takes the shot. And it wasn't a bad shot, but it wasn't. Didn't have the accuracy that it needed. It didn't find the inside of the post. Ended up hitting the middle of the post and bouncing back out. And luckily for Manchester City, there was no Leicester player there to be able to follow it in. And I felt like we got away with one. I felt like Ederson there made the choice for Jamie Vardy. I'm sure if Ederson had backed off, Jamie Vardy would have put through one-on-one, and I imagine Jamie Vardy would have probably scored. So fair credit to Ederson there, forcing Vardy to make his mind up very quickly, and he takes the touch and shoots, and he ends up putting him under pressure. And because of that, just a very slight bit, puts too much on the ball and puts it onto the post. We got away with one there. Then, later on, Ilkay Gundogan had a very good chance for Manchester City. The ball was worked well between him and Aguero. He ended up getting in. The ball was played just slightly behind where Gundogan would have wanted it, so Gundogan's having to turn his body to adjust to be able to get a good shot away. But he never looked too composed about it. He ends up scuffing it instead of finding it in the top end of his foot, ends up slicing it onto the bottom end of his foot, and the ball's just but the shot's just weak and it's straight at the keeper. And I don't think Kasper Schmeichel was expecting the shot that was put there, because he looked very surprised, and he just saved it with his feet whilst being stood up, which is a very unusual save for a Premier League goalkeeper to make. And it could well have caught him out, but it weren't a great clean shot, but it was a very good opportunity for Manchester City there. And these are the moments that I'm talking about when I say I want Man City to be clinical, because when we play that game against Real Madrid, if we're creating these opportunities, they must go if we want to go through. Guarantee you of that. Leicester then had some opportunities. Piera had a shot well saved. Maddison had a good free kick well saved by Ederson too. Leicester were creating opportunities and they were having their chances, but so were Manchester City. Then right on half-time, Sergio Aguero managed to put the ball into the back of the net. I spoke with Jamie Vardy missing a good opportunity. Sergio Aguero got himself into a good opportunity. His only touch in the box, managed to put it past Schmeichel onto the inside of the post and into the back of the net. A good finish. The offside flag went up though. It was ruled out. VAR had a look, and he was about a yard to 2 yards offside, and it was the correct decision. And Aguero did look offside, but he's a clinical striker and is showing that if you give him half a chance, he will put that in the back of the net. And in my opinion, if we're giving him the opportunities in Madrid, I'm confident that we can get a goal. But we went in at half-time. It was 0-0. Leicester had some chances. Manchester City had some chances. Both teams look a bit cautious. Anything could be given. Both teams are looking very settled and composed in the middle. Bit of a naff half, in my opinion, from both sides here. Nothing much given. Lots of midfield battles. But like I said, this is what I'm expecting the Champions League game to be like. It's ideal preparation for us. And for the first 45 minutes, we did a pretty good job. 2 talking points. I feel like, and this is a big talking point actually, going into that first half, and in particular what happened in the second half. Free kick came in. Kevin De Bruyne had his hands up, and he was doing that to protect his face because he was going to get clobbered in the face. So he puts his hands up to protect his face, and it hits his hand. Leicester go for the appeal for a penalty. I'm not sure if VAR had a look or not, but the decision was no penalty. I will tell you right now that if that happens on Wednesday, a penalty will be given. And considering what happened in the second half, with Leicester getting a handball and City getting a penalty, I tell you right now, Leicester would be pretty cheesed off. And if it was the other way round and the decisions were given against City, I'd be pretty cheesed off too. And so I felt like, in my honest opinion, we did get away with one there. You run the risk when you put your hands up, even if you're doing it to protect your face, that you are giving a reason. We know how incompetent referees are in the Premier League. You're giving the referee a reason here to possibly give a penalty, and I'm half surprised that we got away with that. Now, there's another talking point. Some were claiming that Iheanacho should have had a penalty after being clobbered by Ederson. They both come in for a 50-50 challenge. Iheanacho gets there slightly first. He heads it onto the oncoming Ederson, who's going in for the punch. Ends up, because he's headed it onto the gloves, you can class Ederson's won the ball, and he follows through and completely clatters Iheanacho, and Iheanacho goes down for a couple of minutes, as he got floored basically, and Iheanacho luckily was okay. But in my opinion, goalkeepers are always going to get more protection than other outfield players, and because Ederson's got something on the ball, that in my opinion makes it not a penalty. But if Iheanacho had won that header and he'd been clattered by Ederson, then there's a decision to be made. If the ball went out and it was a poor header from Iheanacho, perhaps the referee would look at it and say the on-field decision might stand. But if that header had just looped up and it was going somewhere and Ederson had just clattered him and not won the ball, yeah. Inconsistency in refereeing in the Premier League, you're running a reason. And so, yeah, we got away with some bits there, in my opinion. Now, in the second half, like I mentioned before with the handball, Prey, is that how you say his name? He had a shot from Ilkay Gundogan in the penalty area. He puts his arm up, referee says no. VAR has a look. His arm's up, it's not by his side, he's not protecting his face, it hits his arm, penalty is given. I'm happy about that. I think the correct decision was made. Like I said, Leicester feel hard done by, but don't worry, Leicester, we're not very good at penalties. I could have tell you that, and I did say when we got given the penalty, I said we're just going to miss the penalty anyway. I'd rather just not have the penalties and spare the embarrassment of how bad we are at penalties. And Aguero steps up, yeah, misses the penalty on 60 minutes, of course. Straight down the middle, there was power on there, but not a lot of accuracy. He needed more height on that if you wanted to put that in the back of the net, and it's well saved. Well, not well saved. The keeper just dives, it hits his legs, and it bounces clear, and they clear the lines. Schmeichel wasn't off his line, so got no problems with the penalty being missed. It just shows how bad we are at penalties. People are saying they wanting De Bruyne to take penalties. De Bruyne is very composed. He isn't the best at penalties. I have seen him take penalties and miss penalties before for Man City. I've seen Gundogan, Sterling, Sane, all of them have done it before. I feel like we just need to work harder. In my opinion, get Ederson on the penalties. I know people have said that it's not going to happen because City are going to run the risk of conceding, but the way Ederson would take a penalty, he likes to just smack the ball, and I feel like if a goalkeeper makes a save, it's either going to go flying out for a corner or out of play. It's going to go flying over the bar or miles wide because there's lots of power, or if he gets it on target, it's going to hurt the goalkeeper, or it's just going to go flying into the back of the net, and that net might come off, is what I imagine might happen. I imagine it's something to trial. You know, City like 2 or 3-0 up, go and give it a go or something like that. See how Ederson does if we do get a penalty. We saw Laporte come off for Otamendi, so I imagine Laporte will be starting that match against Madrid. We also saw Aguero come off for Gabriel Jesus, so I imagine Aguero will more than likely be starting for the match against Madrid. Or will he? 80 minutes in, we finally get the breakthrough. It's a great run from Riyad Mahrez, plays it from his own half, runs right through Leicester's midfield and defence. A blind pass played right in, perfect, just onside. VAR did have a look, and Jesus was onside there. Plays it first time, just composed. Jesus has had his problems. Very good goal this for him. Very composed. It's very easy for him to be able to miss an opportunity like this, but he doesn't. Puts his opportunity away. And so, yeah, I'm wondering now, City have a decision to make in Madrid. Will it be Jesus or will it be Aguero? We saw Matty James come on for the first time in nearly 2 years, making a Premier League appearance for Leicester City. I am half surprised he didn't score. But there it was, full time, 0-1 to Manchester City, an excellent result, a clean sheet, and in my opinion, one of the results of the season. It's a very difficult place to go to, the King Power. I did say in my preview, it's a good time to play Leicester. It turns out it was, and a very good result for us. Very composed. We got the goal. We kept a clean sheet. Should have scored 2 with that penalty. It was made to rue our missed chances against Spurs this time. Not so much. So we are learning lessons, which is good. So I'm going to have a look at the stats now. 68% possession for Manchester City, 32 for Leicester. 10 shots for Leicester, 3 on target, 18 shots for City, 7 on target. We do need to work on being clinical, we really do. 309 passes from Leicester, 76% pass completion rate. 668 passes from City, 89% pass completion rate. It's a decent performance. 14 key passes compared to Leicester's 6. A clear-cut chance created for Leicester, of course, with Vardy hitting the post. A couple of clear-cut chances created for Manchester City, the penalty, and of course, scoring that goal. Crosses by Manchester City. 20 put in the box, just 2 connected. Leicester put 11 in the box and connected with 2, so neither side too brilliant on their crosses. More corners for Manchester City, more recoveries for Manchester City, the same amount of tackled and also success on their tackle completion rate, both at 66.7%. More interceptions for Manchester City, the same amount of blocks, more clearances for Leicester, more headed clearances for Leicester, and Manchester City, though, were better with their aerial duels. More block crosses for Leicester and more saves for Kasper Schmeichel to make. That's very interesting. It's very even on our defensive stats, which surprises me. But there we go. So, my conclusion, like I said, it's great preparation for Real Madrid. We just need to improve on putting our chances away and scoring penalties, really. Go and have a watch of our Carabao Cup penalty shootout against Chelsea last year. Under pressure, most, or should I say 3 or 4 of them were good penalties for us, and we need to get back to that one. Laporte, in my opinion, very important that he plays in the game against Real Madrid. For Leicester, they look like they're lacking confidence. Jamie Vardy, big miss for them. It's fine margins in the Premier League. Thought Fuchs played well, playing in at centre-back. He's only played, I think it's his second start at the King Power this season, so that did go well for Leicester. Just managed to grind them down in the end. But all in all, solid win. Gundogan looked comfortable. I thought Rodri had a good game. I was concerned about them too, so kudos. My JSGC man of the match, though, goes to Riyad Mahrez for his assist. It looked well drilled, was having shots, getting balls into the box. His blind pass was fantastic, and his run for the goal and the assist was brilliant, and well done to Jesus on scoring. But it means now 7 points clear of third in second place, which is 19 points behind Liverpool, who've still got a game in hand. But we can now turn our focus away from the Premier League and onto the Champions League and that huge game with Real Madrid, which I'll have a preview up for tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned for that and subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. You can find my social media links, which you can find in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again for the next video. So I've been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.